Hello, class. Okay, so I tried to submit another video, but apparently it's too long because it won't upload. So I got to shorten it and make this really, really quick. Okay, so starting out with asking everybody, how many of you out there are a single parent, whether you're a single mother or a single father? Okay, cool. So we can relate. And I'm hoping to also enlighten some of these two-parent homes that look negatively upon us single-parent parents. Okay, so like one of these websites, the www.census.gov website, is talking about on November 17, 2016, they released a report talking about um, 73.7 million children under the age of 18 live with families with two parents, which makes up 69%. And then the most common other family living arrangement is with single mothers, and that makes up 23%. So let's see, 6, 7, 8, we got 9, 10, 11, 2 carry the 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 92%. So where's the other, 8%? What is that made? I guess so that'll be for y'all single fathers. Shout out to all y'all. Okay. Anyway, according to the Census Bureau, that's what they feel. So one thing about the Census Bureau is that they send out surveys to every address in the United States and send out emails telling you that you have to fill out these surveys. So I received one of these surveys this year and I didn't fill it out. So just to point out that the Census Bureau can't be too thoroughly accurate considering the fact that I didn't fill out that survey. So how many other families out here did not fill out that survey? Okay. So then the next link that I provided was to a website, NCBI, not too sure what it is, but it's talking about how children growing up in a single home is affected academically. I do not agree with what this website states because I, for one, I guess because they consider two-parent homes, whether it's your mother and your father, or your mother and your stepfather, or your father and your stepmother, either way it goes, they say that's two parents. Okay, anyway, anyhow. So I grew up with my father and my stepmother. When I became up into my teenage years, I couldn't stand my stepmother. I started rebelling. I started skipping school. I started getting introduced into like marijuana, drinking. I almost failed the eighth grade because I was suspended so much. I was fighting. I had an attitude problem. Okay, so I was in a two-parent home, but I had an anger issue and I had an attitude problem. So that didn't develop from being in a single-parent home. So there goes that statistic knocked out the window right there in my book. Okay, so it does, and so like this website also saying that they did a small study across the state of Louisiana. Okay, so that was just the state of Louisiana. And then I'm also thinking about, okay, like what type of people are these studies being conducted on? Because they're saying that like these single parent home children are not doing well on math and reading. I excelled in every single subject except for math. Math is my weakness. Still to this day, it is my weakness. So, okay, that is just a statistic. I don't believe statistics because it's not 100% accurate. It's just based on the group of people that they did their study with and their statistic with. That doesn't they can't do a statistic on absolutely every single person that is in this entire United States. Like, come on now, be serious. Um, I am a single mother, so I am speaking from experience to everybody from the experience that I had raising up my two children. I have two boys, one 18, one 16. My 18-year-old's father went to prison when I was 8 months pregnant. Best thing that ever happened in my entire life because I found out things that I needed to know. And he is not a very good person that I needed to bring my child up around. When he did get out of prison, I did try to put my child into his life and make him do something with his child. But in his mind, he didn't want nothing to do with the child if I wouldn't have nothing to do with him. Not finna happen. He likes to beat on women anyway. And he's not ashamed of it. My second son's father, I was with him for 4 years. 3 of those years, he beat me physically, mentally, emotionally. Finally, one day, I woke up and realized this is not where to be at. What made me wake up and realize is we got into a fight. He was beating the crap out of me. He had a gun pointed to my head. My children were begging and pleading with him to leave them alone. He slapped them down to the ground like they was nothing. And so, like, I begged and pleaded, got out the door, ran off, got some help, brought the police back. Anyway, enough said. I put him in jail. He had my children in a bathroom, lights out, gun, police found them, took them to jail. Good. It's what I need to do. Me and my children disappeared. Anyway, anyway, this is the point that I'm trying to make. It's like this. If you raise up boys in a home where the father, man, whatever, beats on the mother, woman, whichever the situation is, the boys are going to grow up thinking that that is how you're supposed to treat a woman. Vice versa, if you're raising a girl in an abusive home, then a woman, that good little girl is going to believe that's how she's supposed to be treated by a man. Anyway, because I have boys, this is where I'm speaking of experience from. So, like, my boys would have grown up thinking that that's how they're supposed to treat a woman. And when they got a girlfriend or a wife, they would have beat on them. That's not okay. In my opinion, statistics are biased. They are based on surveys. But what type of people are they conducting these surveys on? What type of homes are these children being raised in? Are these surveys being conducted from two-parent homes where the parents are loving or the parents are abusive? A child can be loved more in a single-parent home versus a home where the parents are always arguing and fighting with each other. For example, I know a man, he has a 4-year-old daughter. Him and that 4-year-old daughter's mother is constantly arguing and fighting physically and verbally. So, like, if people are around that little girl and they raise their voice too loud, the little girl starts crying because she's traumatized from it. Like, come on now, be for real. And then, like, I had a friend in high school. She lived with her mother and her stepfather. Her stepfather was very well off in the bank account. She had a real nice home, real good upbringing. Anyway, she ended up on drugs and she died of an overdose in her college years. I could go on with example for days, but it would take too long. The point I'm trying to make is just because a child is being raised in a single parent home does not mean that that child is going to be dumb or ignorant or fail school or have anger issues. A child's personality is just that. It is their personality. Like, what makes a serial killer or a child molester? Statistics cannot blame a person for being a killer or a pedophile on the fact that their child was being raised up in a two-parent or a single-parent home. My boys are very loving and smart and exceptional. They are very respectful and they love God. My youngest son has a learning disability. I can't blame that because he was raised in a single-parent home. That's just something that he learns more slowly than other children. Happens anywhere, including kids that are raised up in a two-parent home. Come on now, be for real. Anyway, so basically, people, please do not believe everything that you read or hear. The government wants you to believe what they want you to believe.